Hello, this is Dr. David A. Gaitros, Department of Computer Science at Florida State University, and I'd like to welcome you to my undergraduate lecture series on selected topics in computer science. You can find these videos and others at my YouTube channel at the URL listed below, or you can simply go to YouTube and search using Gaitros and FSU as keywords. Now on to the lecture. We'd like to finish up our operator overload. This is part 3 of a 3-part series. We've already done the assignment operator overload right here for the box class. We've done the increment and decrement operators, both the prefix and postfix. I have added those. We'll look at those in a minute. And we've done the O-stream output operator. What I'd like to do right now is overload the friend operators, and I'd like to show you how you can make them both part of the class and a friend class and what the differences are. We're going to start out with the one that's most straightforward, and that is the assignment operator. And here what we'd like to do is we'd like to say something on the lines of if my box 1 is equal to my box 2, and then do something like see out hey, they are the same. All right, well, now that's not defined right now. We don't know what that means. Well, again, when you overload the equality operator, what you need to do is you need to make a determination what constitutes two objects are the same. In this particular case, we're going to assume that they're the same if they have the same size, border, and fill. So let's start writing that and make this work, shall we? All right. First of all, let's go into the box.h, excuse me, and go down to our operator overload area, and we'll put them right above here. And we're going to make this one a friend at first, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's not a friend, when it's actually part of the class. It returns a bool. It's operator equal equal. And then, since it's not part of the class, we have to pass in both operands, both the left and the right side of it. So constant box reference B1, and then constant box reference B2. So there it is defined. All right. Now we go back to our main routine. We see it's defined right yet, but it's not been implemented. So let's go into the box.h and write the code that makes it all work. Here is box.cpp, and we're going to make it work. We're going to put it right here, right in the same location as in the H file. I kind of like to do that. It lines them up real nice. And we don't put the word friend in front of it. What we do is we just say bool, and then operator equal equal. Okay, it's going to return it, and then constant box and sign B1, and then constant box and sign reference B2. Okay. Now then, what constitutes the two equals? Well, in this particular case, if B1 size is equal to B2 size, and B1.fill is equal to B2.fill, and B1.border is equal to B2.border, we can return a true. But let me simplify this. Let's just do an if statement. Let's do something a little shortcut. Let's just return this whole thing, and what it will do is it will actually evaluate that whole expression as a Boolean expression and return true and false if it is indeed true, or false otherwise. So that's what constitutes the equal sign. Now let's go back and let's build this. Build the project. It looks like it's going to build. And let us run it. And when we run it and we get down, it should say well, they're not the same because it didn't print it out. Let's go ahead and modify that main routine a little again. Main routine. Hey, they're the same. Else, cout, they are different. Okay. build project, and we will run. They are different. Good. Now, they are different. Let's try the equality. All right. If my box 1 is equal to my box 1, now this one we would expect them to be the same. We say see out, the same box is the same. And we'll build that. And that just kind of shows you that you can use the same thing twice. We will run it. And this is just the text of the equality. And the boxes, they are different. These two are different. Those two are the same. All right. Well, now that's the class overload as a friend. All right. Now, what if we didn't want to make it a friend? What if we wanted to make it part of the class? What are the changes that we have to do? Well, the changes are this. First of all, we take off the word friend. All right. And operator. Now, overload operator must be a binary operator. So, in other words, it only needs one parameter because the thing on the left side of the equality statement will be the actual object itself, right? Or be the thing on the left-hand side. So we're going to take this off, and then we're going to just make it B. All right, there's B. Now let's go write the code. Let's make it work. And we're in here, and you'll see that we have the same thing. We just take this off right here. Okay, and we'll just say B. On the left-hand side, we just take off B1. It's just the object itself. And you see that. The thing on the left-hand side is just the object itself, since this one is actually part of the class. All right. And then to make it part of the class, we have to say box : and that actually makes it part of the class, and now everything works. So then is the difference between making something part of the class and as opposed to making it a friend. All right. Well, let's go back, and they're all very, very similar. They're all very similar to this. Okay, so we can actually go back in here, and we can say if my box is not equal to my box 1 is not equal to my box 1, see out, they are different. Or we can say see out, else, see out, we'll use a double negative here, they are not different. A little fun here. Well, how do we write that? Well, you can kind of guess how you can do it, and I'm sure if you wrote it yourself, okay, you would actually, we'll make this one part of the class too. We'll say bool operator not equal constant box int b. All right. All right. Okay, now then let's go write that code. Let's go in here to box.cpp, and right there is our box, and what we want to do is we want to say bool box : operator equal. Okay. Const box int b, and we could do the same code right there. Operator, it's already defined. It is not equal. Okay. Okay. And let's just make this a little cleaner. There we go. Now, we have a couple of options here. We could just replicate this and put not equal and change it to or over here. So if the size or the fill or the border is not equal, then it's none of it's equal. Any one of them can return a true. The other thing we can do is we can return the opposite of the equality operator. We'll do that in a little bit. Let's just write this straightforward right now. We'll just say return size is not equal to b.size, or fill not equal to b.fill, or border not equal to b.border. Okay. And of course, using De Morgan's law, that's just the opposite of that. You know, everything is not, and then the logical operators are reverse. So we'll build this. We'll build the product. It looks like it's going to run, and we're going to run it. And okay, they are not different, which means they are the same. Now then, one more thing I want to show you, and I'm not going to go through the less than, greater than, or equal. They're all very similar. You just have to make a decision as to what constitutes whether a box is less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, that sort of thing. Let me change this back to a friend, and let me show you something else that you can do, which is quite nice. I'm going to make these both friends, and go in and do something with them. Okay, friend operator, and of course I have to make them two constant box at b2, b1, constant box and reference b2. And let's go in and change the code here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now again, I take off the box : : they're not part of the class anymore, and I change this to b1, and then constant box at b2, and then this is b1 dot, this is b2, this is b1, this is b2, this is b1 dot, and this is b2. Alright, now that's fun. Alright, now this one, let me show you what happens here. Instead of changing this one, what I can do now, and it's much easier to do when it's a friend, is I can return not b1 is equal to b2. Alright, now let's go ahead and change this to b1 constant box b2. Alright, see, I'm using a predefined function already. That one's just fine. And all I'm doing is I have to take the box off. All I'm doing is I'm doing the opposite of that one. And that works well on the other operators too. So let's go ahead and build this one. And that looks good. And let's run it. And there we have it. It is not different. All right, very good. This is a very brief explanation of overloads and an object-oriented. Not only can you overload individual functions, but you can actually overload classes too. So it works quite well. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, press like and consider subscribing to my channel. And look forward to doing more for you. Have a good day.